in St. Peter's, where we think it is timely and necessary we bring young people together, and it is not a matter of saying, okay, how do we change this? Or now this have happened, let's do this, let's try to prevent it next time. But we bring that caption to say guidance and counseling. It is the way in which we can mold these young people, is the way in which we can guide them to be or to have a productive lifestyle. From that camp, from that year, we mobilized 150 young people within the Gambia, and bring them together at St. Peter's in Lamin. And thereby we talk to them about the issue.
You do basically like the same thing with Lend a Hand Society to instill discipline in young people and help them grow up.
It also has to do much of that. But like this association is the only youth organization that deals with that focused more on guidance and counseling alone. That is why we little bit different from other youth organizations. But our main area of intervention is guidance and counseling.
Okay, so now you are, which are the Babukars? You are Kebe?
Yeah, I'm Kebe.
Okay, you are Kebe and you are Jallo. Jallo, now since you started so far, how is it going? Is it working out?
Well, thank you very much for having us on the show. Since we started this association in 2008, September 16, we've been trying our level best.
When did September?
September 16th.
You should have started on my birthday, September 18th. Yeah.
Possibly, next time. Okay, with this, we started way back September 16, as I said earlier on. And we've been having several activities on board, and with some of these activities, we were able to implement some of them, and some of them we were unable to implement them. And those that we were able to implement, we implemented with within ourselves, with the little resources that we have. That is the human resources. That is what we bank much on. And people who have been there have been helping to see how best we can come up with several programs and activities, and then see how best we can promote and then have that guidance and counseling effective within our communities, because that is what made us to stand, and that's what we are working on.
Okay.
As he said earlier on, like, many organizations in the Gambia are not looking at guidance and counseling. And if you go to other countries in Europe or America, they are focusing a lot of attention on guidance and counseling. But in the Gambia or other African countries, having less attention on guidance and counseling. And we deem it necessary, for every nation to progress or every young person to progress, they need to be given the requisite knowledge and skills for that to happen. And that's why we are there on promoting guidance and counseling.
Okay.
Presently, we are even working on we have worked on a manual, and we have completed it. And in that manual, is like divided into 3 levels, and it has 20 modules, and that is what we are working right now.
Okay. And you said September 16th, meaning your anniversary will be next week?
Yes,
next week.
Yeah,
so what are your plans?
Yeah, as of now, we have already have the plan set, and this is part of the anniversary, to at least have the sensitization to young people. We're trying to reach out stakeholders up to the grassroots level, involving parents. In it, we first want to have a press conference on Monday, which is on the 16th. So we invite the media personnels and then talk to them what the association is all about, and some of the things that we have been doing in the past 5 years, and thereby try to also inculcate some of the informations then that can be disseminated to the grassroots level. So on the 16th, which is going to be on Monday, will be the press conference as part of the anniversary activities, which is going to be held in KMC Multipurpose Hall. From that, we're going to have a march past, which is going to be on the 19th of this month, but it's yet to be confirmed yet as to the date. Due to some technical arrangement that are on board as of now.
Well, we will have to take a break, and we'll be right back. Mahmoud, if you're ready, I'm ready to go.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Fatu Show, and this is the Viewers Tube, only with me, Teneng Jite. Today we're talking about tax payment and all its related issues and vices. Have you paid your tax? Mane, if your answer is yes, good. If no, they're coming for you. This is where we talk about your tax issues, and we are teaming up with GRA. Here we have Commissioner of Domestic Taxes, Esa Jallo, to tell us all about tax payment, who pay tax, where your money goes to, and why you need to pay tax. In fact, all the information you need is right here on this video.
Anything to do with the payment of tax is something, that has to be decided by law. So who pays tax, how they are going to pay the taxes, all these things, have to be decided by law. So that is why we operate on the basis of the law, and the law will prescribe who pays tax and what are the different types of taxes which exist in the country. Who pays tax depends on, the kind of, economic activities that you are engaged in. Like all businesses, pay tax in this country. These businesses could be individual businesses, it could be partnerships, it could be, corporate bodies. Even those of us who are in employment, we pay tax because of, the income we are getting. It's taxable. You have people who have rented out properties in this country. They are earning income from, property rentals. They are also required to pay tax. So in other words, to just summarize this, anybody who is engaged in an economic activity, in this country, you are required to pay tax. It doesn't matter which religion you belong to. It doesn't matter which age what is your age. Tax does not look at gender. It does not look at religion. It looks at what you do, and on the basis of what you do, the law will decide what kind of tax will apply to you, whether it is a tax on employment, whether it is a tax that is based on business income, and so on and so forth. It is very important that people pay tax, because every government needs revenue to be able to provide public services, and let me say public goods and services, because we all see roads. We want to drive the best cars, but imagine you buy your best car and you don't have a road, you don't have good roads. So which means that no matter how good your car is, after 1 year, your maintenance costs will start increasing. And also it will affect the durability of your car. The other thing is, if you are sick, you want to go to a hospital, you want to find doctors there, you want to find medicine there. Also, you need security for your property. Therefore, you need the police. You need the army. And for all the civil servants, all the people who work in government offices, providing public services, they are all paid. Their salaries are paid from the taxes, that are being mobilized, by the country. That is why, it is very, it is criminal, it is illegal, for anybody, to engage in tax evasion, because that's the quickest way of crippling economies. If you fail to pay tax, you can be taken to court, you can be prosecuted, and it can even attract a jail time. Who pays taxes, and how much you pay, and what type of taxes, these are all prescribed by the law. There are individual businesses, and for them, we tax them on the basis of their business income. And for those individual businesses, of course, they will be required to register, and once they register, they have to pay income tax. Income tax is paid annually, but during the course of the year, they are required to make quarterly payments. That is for all individual businesses and the corporate businesses. When I say individual businesses, are the ones that you usually see, being run by people. And when I say corporate, I'm talking about the big kind of businesses, whether they are banks, whether they are in the telecoms, whether they are hotels. So all of them require to pay, tax on their business incomes. They would be required to pay this first on a quarterly basis based on their, turnover, and then at the end of the year, they will be required to file a return. When they file a return, an assessment is done, of their taxes, and depending on the tax that is charged, on their profit or turnover, whichever is higher, that's what we take. But, in a nutshell, that kind of tax is called, income tax, and it's a tax that they pay on the basis of their business income. And for individual businesses, there is one thing that is also important.